Now being 6:30 p.m., I'm going to open up the North Carver Water District meeting. We're here in meeting room 4. We're being videotaped by Area 58. I also have my recording going on here. Our secretary is not going to be here tonight, so between my notes and the recordings, we'll create the minutes for that. If anybody has any questions or wants to be a secretary, I'll be happy to go ahead and, don't all jump at once here. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is open up public comment. Does anybody from the public wish to speak at this time? Okay. Next, I want to introduce George McLaughlin from Route 44 Development. He is part owner of the development project in the North Carver area. I figured it would be important for him to speak to the board and to the public about what's going on up there and how it affects the North Carver Water District. Okay, so that being said, George, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. As the chairman has said, my name is George McLaughlin, and I, along with my partner Bob Delholm, own the development there in North Carver. Just to kind of set the stage, we've been permitted by the state for 1,770,000 square feet of regional, warehouse distribution type buildings, although we're not limited to that. We had a deal with Hillwood, as you'll recall, and then that deal fell apart because Hillwood wasn't ready to close. And they wanted an extension, and Bob and I didn't want to give them an extension. We decided, let's just go ahead and develop the property ourselves. We're both experienced real estate developers and investors. And so that's what we've done. The first part of the development was to file a subdivision plan and then a definitive plan with the planning board. That was allowed, the definitive subdivision was approved, and I know Tom Bott, I saw him come in, I believe it was back in February of this year, and since then we've been designing our road and getting quotes on the road and dealing with other issues, one of which, and it's a major issue, of course, is the North Carver Water District. We have right now 2 local businesses, and when I say local, I mean kind of not right in Carver, but South Shore, two very good businesses that would be great taxpayers for Carver, that want to develop about 600,000 square feet of building on the site. So what we would like to do is sell them 2 lots, and then they could develop their properties. In order to do that, we need to start building our road, and we have tentative plans to start that construction work in March, April, depending how the winter is of next year. We have to modify our subdivision plan, and we've had some preliminary talks with Mr. Bott about that, and we'll be talking with the other departments, in the next couple of weeks. So I've been talking to Chairman Belbin about the situation, and we're reliant upon the North Carver Water District for our water. While there were no members of the board, I talked to Tom Bott, and I said, we should really apply to the Mass Works Grant program to see if we can get money, because obviously you folks know this better than me, but the first thing you need to do is to have an engineering study done of the North Carver Water District to come up with a program so that you can fix it and turn it into a solid working water district, which can be done. It's just a question of engineering and money. And so one of the things I did, we built our access road into the property and put the new signal there. with the benefit of a Mass Works grant application. As you may know, the municipality has to be the applicant. In the case of our Mass Works grant application for the road, we worked with the town to fill out all of the applications. We paid for the cost of all of the applications and professionals involved. And then we received a grant. I forget what it was exactly, but it was enough to build the road, straighten out Montello Street, extend the water line down. And I think my partner and my vague memory is it was about a $4 million project. Tom probably has the numbers better than I do. About a $4 million project. My partner and I contributed $800,000 approximately, and the state of Massachusetts contributed $3,200,000, because really what Mass Works does, and you may know this, so excuse me if I'm telling you what you already know, but Mass Works, one of their goals is to encourage development in areas that don't normally see development. So, everybody wants to develop in Boston and Cambridge, et cetera. But, when you have a big development like we're planning down in Carver, the state wants to encourage that. So they do everything they can to encourage that development, including, as I say, the Mass Works grant for the roadway. And we're optimistic. I've contacted, my folks who feed me information about these various grant programs or what have you. And, I'm guardedly optimistic that we'll get this $40,000 grant to do the study, and then the next grant we'll apply to, and we'll apply, I would think, both to the state and to the federal government for money to help fix and repair the North Carver Water District so it can be a well-functioning, robust system. And that would include, I know you need a 125,000 gallon roughly water tower to pressurize the system. And there are a lot of other things that you folks are going to need to put it back together again, and we'll probably be your major customer. So I've been talking to Chairman Belvin about this, and he said, well, why don't you come in and tell the board about your plans? And somehow I get the dates mixed up, so I was planning on being there in person, but I'm away on vacation right now, so through the magic of Zoom, here I am. And that's it in a nutshell. I'm happy to answer whatever questions you have or comments you have or whatever.
George, it was my fault. I gave you the wrong date. I apologize. My fault, not yours, so I take that hit. All right. But I thank you very much for being here and talking about this.
Yeah.
Does any of the members have questions for George?
I don't at this time. Are you planning, or what's your feeling about full build out of the property?
I feel it's good. It's, I wouldn't have been pursuing this project if I didn't love the site. And I got to tell you, Carver has been great to deal with. This was not an easy project, but we assembled a great parcel. And coming into the pandemic a little before, interest rates were shooting up and Hillwood was getting a little antsy. And my attitude was, I know what the area needs. I know there's interest there. And one of the things I've found is that there are a lot of businesses in the area that rent now that really want to own. Because if you think about it, you folks are business people and people in the audience. If I have a successful business that needs, say, 200,000 square foot facility, well, my business is worth X if I don't own the facility. But if I own this facility, it's going to be worth a lot more than X, because when you're selling it to the buyer has they don't have to leave. They own the facility. and your customers are used to going to that facility. So I've tapped into, and I really haven't explored it totally because I've been busy on other things, but I have 600,000 square feet of users that have kind of come out of the woodwork and sought me out. So my attitude is fine. I think the economy's probably going sideways, but still pretty strong. We have an indication that interest rates are going to be coming down. I didn't see what the minutes were from the Fed's meeting today, but everybody, seems to think they're going to come down. So that's a step in the right direction. And so, I really think that we'll build it out no problem. How long will it take? I don't know, but I just feel, for example, one thing that is needed is a distribution facility to serve the Cape. Because as you may know, if you build over 10,000 square feet down at the Cape, you have to go to the Cape Cod Commission, and that's kind of a nightmarish permitting road, and they don't want to have any big distribution centers on the Cape. So I think this would be perfect for a distribution center. I also think there are other businesses around that want to own their own facilities, so that may be the game plan. Plus, you have, we even selling the 600,000 square feet worth of building, we could still lay down an 800,000 to $1 million square foot user if that user comes along. But I'm not waiting for that user. I look at that as kind of like deer hunting or tuna fishing or whatever. I mean, you get more tuna these days than you used to, but you know how it is. You just, if you're looking for that 800-pound gorilla, maybe you get it, maybe you don't, but I don't want to wait for the 800-pound gorilla. I want to move ahead and start developing this and fill it out. So I feel confident we can do that.
So, one second, please. George, for these two proposed sites that you're looking to sell,
Yes.
how much water usage do you estimate for those two?
It would only be, 1,000 to 2,000 gallons a day. The X factor there is fire suppression, okay? And that's the next thing I'm going to be looking at, because you have to obviously you have to take that into consideration. So, for example, and this is something we'll have to discuss with the fire chief. I don't know if they're going to have wet systems, or if they're going to have chemical systems, what they're going to have. So what would happen there would be, we're going to have some kind of a tank, probably, and this, Bob, was in that memo that I sent to you. Basically, Hillwood, I don't know if everybody knows this, but Hillwood did a study of the North Carver Water District, and they issued a memo back in August of 2022. And they basically reached the conclusion that in order to pressurize the system, you had to have a 125,000 gallon water tower at a certain elevation, and then that would pressurize the system so that you could use it for, have adequate water pressure and have adequate pressure in the hydrants for fire suppression. But it also said that we would need a separate tank at ground level on the property for fire suppression. However, when this memo was done, Hillwood was anticipating building like 1,500,000 square foot, 1,600,000 square foot, ginormous building that was 65 feet high, all under one roof. So it was a totally different animal. So now what we have to do is we have to go back and figure out with our fire suppression consultants, all right, what do? We have these two tenants that are 600,000 square foot of users. How do we deal with the fire suppression water? Can we put in a tank that's kind of, that can be built in a modular fashion? So, for example, if the fire chief and everybody agrees, oh, well, for these tenants, you only need 50,000 gallons or 100,000 gallons, whatever it is, fine. We fill the tank on our property with 50 to 100,000 gallons, and then when you get the next tenant or buyer, whatever, depending upon their building, you add on to the tank. What I have to do is I have to go in and build the entire road with all the utilities and what have you, but I'd like to build the fire suppression in a modular fashion so that I can add on to it as each additional building comes online.
Okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
George, Glenn Cannon, Town Administrator. Have you had any discussions with Middleborough about expanding their services? We're all aware that Middleborough is supplying water to our, 131 customers now. I've not had any discussions with them about expanding that service.
Yeah, I talked to them about it, and my problem is this. There are a number of people, and you know this better than I do. I mean, there are other towns that are looking to latch on to Middleborough, and my fear is that I couldn't in good conscience. Let me back up and answer your question. The answer to your question is yes, I spoke to them. The answer they gave me was, yeah, maybe we could do it, but I felt that it would be a very tenuous agreement because they've been trying to expand their water withdrawal permit with the DEP. And I don't know where that was, but they were getting a hard time from the DEP. And I just felt, I don't want to be reliant upon Middleborough because we all know if all of a sudden one of their wells goes down with a problem, then the first people they're going to cut loose are the people who aren't Middleborough residents. So I don't know whether it's Carver or one of the other towns, but it seems like everybody's been calling Middleborough to solve their water problem. So my attitude is I got to solve my own water problem. So I think the way I do that is to work with you folks, to work with the North Carver Water District and spend, my time and money and expertise to help you folks, help yourselves, and help me.
Good. Anyone else have any questions? We have some questions from the audience, if you don't mind, George.
No, not at all. I'm happy to
It's not
talk to
really-
anybody and everybody.
It's not really a question,
Okay.
it's more of a statement. I spoke with Jim McLaughlin from the DEP, and he flat out said
Yeah,
that it's a no to.
okay.
But also,
What was that? I was just curious. And by the way, Jim McLaughlin, I know him, but he's no relation.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. What did he say no to?
he said that Middleborough wouldn't be able to give you water because,
Yeah.
the MBTA, all the towns are gonna have to deal with that. Middleborough especially because the train is right there. But also, I know Mr. Cannon just said that there's 131 people in Carver getting water from Middleborough. Those people should be getting water from the North Carver Water District because the water from Middleborough right now is contaminated and there's no way to tell what's being pumped into the homes.
All right, I gotta stop you right there. All right. I'm gonna say this, is that Middleborough has been providing us the water reports. And they haven't come up with anything. I know that there was an issue with one of their plants or whatnot, but like I said, we're not gonna really go that way right now.
But when are we going to address that though?
It does have to be addressed, but maybe not in this venue right now.
Okay.
Okay, so my next question really to you, George, is how does the urban renewal plan that makes reference to the North Carver Water District in a couple of different places. How does that affect if we can't give you water?
That's a good question. I don't know. I really hadn't considered that. I mean, I suppose, I don't know. I mean, I suppose just thinking out loud, it's a bad idea to think out loud, but I mean, maybe I take the position, hey, wait a second, I have a contract with you. You agreed to give me water, and, you know, I went ahead and spent a lot of money, and you gotta give me water, so let's work together and figure out how you get me water. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay.
And I'm saying that, and I'm saying that not in a threatening
No.
way at all. It's just that, you know, I have a lot of money invested there, and it's gonna be a great thing for Carver. And my attitude is, I mean, if you can put a man on the moon, you can do anything. It's just a question of money and rolling up your sleeves and getting it done. And I'm the eternal optimist, but I wouldn't be, you know, I don't chase rainbows, okay? I believe in this project, and yeah, the North Carver Water District was kind of boardless there and rudderless and what have you, but you guys have jumped into the fray and the ship's settled, and as I've told you, Bob, I'm happy to roll up my sleeves and help you any way I can. Money, political connections, whatever.
Right. And I totally agree where you're at for this project. Being a former RDA member, going through the urban renewal plan, looking at that site, walking that site, knowing the importance of that site to the North Carver area, it's important. So I want to thank you very much for coming in and stating your case here with us. I think we have to roll our sleeves up a little bit more, and we have to really get things done. We have a time frame now closer to get us in that position that we can do something for you and the development. All right, so
Right.
with hopefully,
I appreciate that. Like I say, you know, you and I have talked weekends, nights, whatever.
yeah.
I'm open 24/7, so whenever anybody wants to talk, I'm
Yeah.
happy to pick up the
Okay.
phone and talk.
All right. So,
I had a quick question for Tom. I don't know if has anyone reached out to the Mass Works grant people and found out where we are on, you know, when they'll be granting or deciding on that application for the $40,000 for the engineering study?
Yeah, for the benefit of your note taker, this is Tom Bott, I'm the town planner here in Carver, Mass. No, we haven't heard anything specific other than grants were supposed to be awarded in September.
Okay, great.
And
Yeah,
that's in a few weeks.
yeah. That's what I thought.
Fingers crossed.
and that's for engineering, is that?
That's for the Mass grants work, the $40,000 grant that George was referring to.
Right.
Yeah, and Bob, that, and members, that would be for an engineering study to study the plant and come up with a plan to fix the plant. We came up with the $40,000 because David Formato, who is at On-Site, did this previous August 1st, 2022 memo for Hillwood. So he's already intimately familiar with the North Carver Water District as well as our project. He's a top-notch engineer. And Bob, as you and I have discussed, I haven't had a chance obviously to talk to everybody else about it, but there are a number of things obviously you're gonna have to look at, and one of the things that should be looked at hard is putting together a water system that's a, a chlorinated system so that it's compatible with the Middleborough system, just in the event that North Carver gets into a problem or Middleborough gets into a problem. You know, as you folks know now, we can't have Middleborough and Carver's water flowing through the same pipes because they have a different purification system.
Right. All right.
So, yeah.
Anything else in closing, George?
No, that's it. That's it. Happy to answer any questions or whatever, but that's all I have. Thank you for your time,
All right.
and as I say, feel free to give me a call whenever.
Okay.
I'll do whatever I can.
Enjoy the rest of your vacation. I'm sorry for the date.
No
issue.
problem at all. Nice to see you folks.
Thanks, seeing you.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, George.
Take care.
Okey
I'm gonna end
dokey.
this part.
Yes, sir. right. 6. 1855. And okey dokey. All right, so let's go to bills payable here that we have. So the first bills payable we have is this Solaire America. Thank you very much for your help, I appreciate it.
Very well. Thanks, Tom.
Did you ever get through to anybody for this? And
I didn't bother her yet because they're doing the fiscal year close.
All right,
So,
okay.
And it's gonna
All
take
right.
her some time, but she's
Oh,
got
yeah.
some information on it.
yeah. So the Solaire America invoice, the first one here is for $1,947.72. And the next one is $4,131.72. So, I have severe questions about this since the plant isn't running. And there's only electricity running for some lights that are there, and some pH meters around the plant that are running. Why are we spending $5,000 plus, 6 actually, for Solaire America
Monthly.
monthly? So, I'll open it up for a motion from the membership, and we'll go with some discussion.
Make that motion.
Motion to approve both
Yep.
payments? We have a motion and a second. Motion, second. All right, discussion. You guys have any discussion about this?
No, I'm working on it because for solar supply, for what's going on up there, it's extensive.
Yeah.
We've had a change of people within the financial offices, so finding the information that was happening in the past to now was a challenge, so.
All right, so any discussion from you with this? Okay, so my discussion is, I'll make a motion, we don't pay this for the mere fact that we need answers. We need some severe answers to this. It's outrageous, this amount of money for electricity for a plant that's not running. And that they come in, Solaire America and this other one, Carver Phase 2 LLC, care of Pegasus, that they come in and they explain this to us. I don't know about you guys, but we got a motion and a second to approve it, but
Well, I'd rather not default on it, but if you want, I can reach out tomorrow to both companies and see if they can come to our next meeting.
that's what's,
Explain.
like I said, I'm not gonna vote in favor of this anymore. I think this is too much personally, and I want answers. So I want answers at our next meeting that we have. They better come in, because this is unacceptable.
Don't see any. I see an address for Solar America. I can research that site to
Yeah.
find out where they're out of. The other one, Pegasus, it's care of Pegasus.
Yeah.
Which is out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah?
Oh, wait a second. Wire only to Philadelphia, all right, that must be a bank account. I don't know if they got somebody local, a representative, but I can reach out to both.
Okay.
I can track down both of those. And tell them we need something. Somebody from each location has to be at our next meeting and explain what this, and break down, what the breakdown is.
All right. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
With Eric and you, I just, it's outrageous.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Vote.
Make a motion to pay.
You seconded it? All those in favor?
Aye.
And I'm a no. So it's 2-1 to pay a bill.
I think, are you familiar if there's other solar projects within the town that are tied to these?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, maybe I'll go with Tom. Tom, okay.
All right, next one is Sue Hanlon's for $75 for the July 24th meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to pay.
A second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, now Verizon bill. So, this is another one. We have a Verizon bill for $128.06. And we have another bill. Wait a second here, they credited us, what, 412, what they put here, $128. That's it. That's the bill, $128. That's due. It said service and equipment was 412, 1 year, your one-time activation 24, partial monthly charges was negative 318, so we must have had a credit
Yep.
for that. And fees and other charges are 875 for a total of $128.06. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion. Pay the bill. 128.06.
Second. All right, discussion. So I'm gonna talk about discussion here because dealing with this bill, I had lengthy conversations with Verizon about this, and just to key you in on some stuff here, we have 5 lines that we're paying for there. So the state has a program that we could do $12 per line. A program that we're using through the town, whatever the town uses, that's what's the program we're using through them, and that's why it's so high for that. But from what I got to them, is the rate would drop to $12 per line if we go forward with that. So I just give you a heads up. There's one line that's not being utilized at all.
Did it have a phone number tied to it?
Oh yeah, there's phone numbers tied to all 5. 5 of them. I wrote them down. The phone line's 2493. The computer is 2494. There's the fire. 2 are set up for the fire alarm system,
Okay.
and then there's 1 extra. So I was surprised that they had 2 for the fire alarm system.
I think they have to have a backup.
So,
I think one's a backup.
and then the extra one would probably be a security system or something like that, if they do it that way. A lot of them are doing it through cellular. So, just to give you, I did go through that. Further along, we'll discuss that about possibly switching over to that program to save a few dollars from us. But we do have a motion in a second to pay this $128.06. All those in favor?
Aye.
Pass unanimous. All right, there's that one. Okey dokey.
Speaking on that, I should probably get those numbers over to the IT department.
Yeah. I'll send them all right, do you want to sign the bottom warrant there? So they can all get paid.
Just one packet, right?
There you go. All right, that goes in here to be filed with them. All right, next we're going to talk about is here. New legal counsel for the North Carver Water District. All right, to review postings, contracts. All right, so this is my packet here for this. So I had called in 3 different companies, only one got back to me, and this is MTC. They responded to me, originally it was $275 an hour. to do just that work. They actually had second thoughts when they notified me the other day, and they are no longer interested in being counsel for the North Carver Water District at this time. I guess they got a lot going on. So I'd asked them if they knew any other law firms or whatnot would be interested in doing a very targeted type of workload. They gave me a Robert W. Galvin, Esquire, and he would be happy to help us out. He represents the communities of Marshfield, Norwell, Rockland, and several local agencies in other communities. And he's represented water districts, including the South Sagamore Water District, and he handled a merger and special legislation authorizing it. So he has a good resume as far as I'm concerned. Because this was not sent to me, this was sent to me on, when did he respond to me? August 20th, he responded to me. And here it is, the 22nd, right? Yeah, 21st. So it's within the 48-hour time frame.
Did he give you a rate per hour?
He did not give us a rate. What I would do is I would ask him to come to our next meeting or do a Zoom with him, and we can discuss that. Or if you guys authorize me to talk to him about it, of what the rates were, and I can come back to it. It's up to you, whichever way you guys want to handle it.
It's quickest.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Get the ball rolling.
Get the ball rolling. There's the
For-
quicker.
Get pricing.
Have him come in, have him come in, or me to talk to him
Yeah,
and
you
get
can
it.
talk to him, get some pricing together. And then you can kind of show them the scope of what we're looking for.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will take care of that there. I'm going to take something out of order here, if you guys don't mind. It goes with legal, too. And it's the 24 hour, within 48 hours. This is dated August 16th, the date of this, but I did not get it until I opened it up yesterday.
Is that the KP Law stuff?
This is from KP Law, and I don't know if you guys got it too. All right. This is about determination and consent. I should have brought my glasses. Pursuant to Mass Rule of Professional Rule 1.7, representation of Carver, North Carver Water District, and Middleborough, where he goes on to say that they've did their due diligence for it, that if we sign this determination, it allows them to represent us. And I'll read the determination here. It is determined pursuant to Rule 1.7 of the Mass Rule of Professional Conduct that the Water Commission of the North Carver Water District, having previously retained KP Law PC to serve as its attorney, consents to KP Law represent Carver, the North Carver Water District, Town of Middleborough, concerning intermunicipal water supply connection between the town and the district as discussed in a letter to the district dated August 16th, notwithstanding KP Law PC serves the town council of the town of Carver and Middleborough and as attorney to the district. So they want to represent us with the town of Carver and the town of Middleborough. I have asked KP Law, Greg Corbo, to show us that this board, prior board, not us, but prior board, has a contract with the North Carver Water District to be counsel for the North Carver Water District, and they have not produced that. The only thing they've produced was for individual contracts that they've done. So, them saying that they serve as the attorney for the North Carver Water District, they haven't proved it yet. So, do you have something that proves it?
I was gonna say, I do have another determination from 2023. I can give you copies of this. I did find this, Bob.
So what I'm saying here is, what I just explained was that, all right, in order for a district to have counsel for themselves, they need to have a contract with a law firm that sets out what they're gonna do, how they're gonna do it, what they're gonna charge,
That's it.
okay, and that we vote into it, okay? I do have this here, okay, and this was signed by Michael Palmieri, Eric Mueller, and Doug Fix. All right, this is just for the meter pit. So this is just an individual thing. So just because they represent us for individual items that we may need legal counsel for, how much are they charging us?
I think it's in the fees, if you go through the finance.
No, do we have a contract with them that says,
So I don't think we have a contract with them, I think it's per diem because the town has them as counsel, and we would utilize that counsel, but we would pay for their services on individual projects, but we do not have a contract as a district.
so that's where we come to a problem here, okay? Because we have one council that's going to represent all three districts. We're a separate entity from the town. We need counsel that will represent us here as the district, otherwise from them. Because this was all written out with not one of us, as far as I know, were you consulted in this?
On which one?
On this one that they just sent out to us on August 16th.
This is for, oh, I just got this, this just came
That's
up.
the consent order.
This is the consent order.
So they
This is
can
the
write
first
the
one. So they
agreement.
can write the agreement between us and Middleborough.
This is what I'm saying here, is that we had one done before for the meter pit.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay, so why do we have another one here?
That's for the supplying water for the town of Carver.
So we need to have someone look at through our eyes as the water, because Middleborough's water is going through our pipes.
Correct.
Not the town of Carver's pipes, our pipes, the North Carver Water District's pipes.
Yes.
Okay? We need to have a clear-cut guidance and talk to Middleborough and say, this is what we want you to do, all right? Can you do this? All right? We need to have this all documented, all right? And I personally don't think KP Law should be doing this for all of us, because they did this and not one of us was discussed prior to them even creating this. So, I mean, you would turn around and have them come in first and say, hey, this is what we would like to do, how you want to do it. What they're basically telling us is that, listen, Carver and Middleborough is telling you what to do. That's what I'm taking from it.
All right, so reading through this is like another separate item. This is so Middleborough will be the operator for the plant to satisfy DEP's requests.
Right, we haven't even gotten to that yet.
Well, that's what's in this.
But this is what I'm saying, is we as a board
Right.
haven't even discussed that. It's on the agenda for tonight.
Right.
Okay? But this is important that we turn around and discuss what we have here. All right? So that's why I wanted to put it out here before we start talking about the discussion that you've had with Middleborough about the operator. Okay? I wanted people to understand that this is what's out here right now.
Right.
All right, I'm not in favor of it. It wasn't put on the agenda here to vote on it, okay? But I just wanted you guys to understand that we have to,
So this item, it looks like, from what I read, is to make an agreement between Middleborough and North Carver Water for the distribution operator
okay.
issue. Just so you know, they're not our council, that it's just.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is we were never, ever consulted into what we want and what they're able to do with Middleborough. It has nothing to do with Middleborough, all right, and them providing water to the town. I'm not angry at them, okay? I'm angry that we got this here before we even discussed it.
Well, they know, we're on their water system, so, and we're.
I understand that,
So,
Eric, but do you understand that
well, they're trying to get the ball rolling, I'm sure, so we
we,
can
I've
plan.
tried to get the ball rolling too, but, I mean, we're working on it now, so,
So what do you,
let's,
do you want to talk to the Esquire guy and see if he wants to look at this agreement?
I think that would be good.
Yes, but I still, I just want to make sure that you guys understand that once I get whatever funds that he's going to charge for looking at all of these, all right, I'll bring it back, and then we can then submit them to him, let him look at them, and do it that way. And it's not going to be a quick thing unless we can meet in a week, all right?
It's fine.
If we can meet in a week, it would be great. Get the ball rolling, get it run, and looked at everything. That's wonderful. So I'm going to move on to number 5 is discussion vote on these agreements here. So all of these agreements here that we're going to have legal look at for legal counsel. These are RFPs, an operator of the plant, okay, permanent operator for the plant, engineering study and feasibility study. That's not.
Yeah, I'd probably put that on hold, right, for now? 'Cause we.
Well, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on that anyways. And the agreement between the town of Carver and town of Middleborough and North Carver Water District.
Okay. yeah.
Okay, so those are the things that we'll look at for him, so it gives me a guideline to talk to him. All right, any questions about that?
Nope.
All right, next one.
Mr. Chairman, if I could?
Yes.
I guess, I think you could ask KP Law for a contract. I know we can't find one. I would also urge you to sign this document of this August 16th, so we can get that moving. Remember, we're under DEP orders to have a distribution system operator. This is just the first step in getting that MOU in progress.
Okay, so Glenn, I just want to make it clear here, is that when I took over, when I came in here as the chairman, and I came in here where I was all ready to turn around and put RFPs out for people to be operators for us, and I got stonewalled here, all right? I'm moving forward with that, and I'm opening it up here. I want to get somebody in here months ago, okay? We're at the position where we're at now, okay? I understand you want to get this signed. I understand that. But I also have to understand that we need to make sure that we're not signing up for something that could be detrimental to the North Carver Water District here, and that will limit our rights to run the system here too, and to oversee the system being run. So we need to have clear specifics of how much they're gonna charge us, what are they gonna do for us, okay? How much time are they gonna spend on us doing whatever they're gonna do? Do they have the ability to actually start up the system? Do they have the training, knowledge, and experience to run this system, to start it up a little bit? Because even if we go to a feasibility study for it and we have an engineer, it has to run for them to really see what's wrong with it. So it has to run. So there's questions that I have. If Middleborough is going to be our operator for our system, I have questions. Okay, so.
Yeah.
Hold on, they're not gonna be our operator though. They're sufficing DEP to be a distribution operator. That's the system that supplies the water, that they're flowing their water through. They're gonna oversee that. There's no operator needed for the plant right now because the plant is not running. We'll cross that. That'll be in the next step, once we get the feasibility study, and then they say, this is what we're gonna do to start up the plant and get moving.
But we also have a draft consent order that was already done prior to me coming in here, that is still there with a $5,000 fine plus, because things just weren't done with small water systems and the prior boards. So we need to get that done, and I think that's gotta be part of the process, that if we're going to, hire somebody, all right, that I wanna make sure that we can resolve the issues with DEP, all of them. All right, that's my question.
He wanted the distribution issue resolved right now, that was it. That's what he's concerned about.
I was gonna say, if you talk to Jim McLaughlin, he'll tell you that we need a distribution system operator, which Middleborough is willing to do. And this is just a consent order, so that KP Law can put together the MOU for you to review.
Right, so
To me,
that's the issue that we have. We don't have counsel, and this turns around and gives them that permission. And I'm sorry, I can't see about doing this here, especially if we're gonna start talking to another lawyer that'll be able to do that, and he may charge less than what Coleman and Page
Well, why shouldn't he
charges.
ask Coleman and Page for a contract? I mean, you don't know if he's gonna be less unless you see that contract. Then you can compare it.
I'd rather put an RFP out there and have a number of different law firms bid into a position.
But we don't have that type of time.
I know, it's,
This is to get.
This is what I'm saying here, is that we have the ability to get a lawyer that would represent us, all right, to look at all these agreements, all right? And to go ahead and represent us in the short-term basis until we can get a full-time law firm.
Which is fine. If you want them if you talk to the Esquire and you want them to review that, we gotta get that moving so DEP is satisfied. That's one step closer to getting the
So
RFPs out.
we can have that done in a week, we can meet in a week.
Okay.
All right, and then give him the opportunity to take those. If we can go ahead and say, here you go, take a look at this first, we'll work on this one first. But like I said, I want,
This isn't a long-term contract with Middleborough either. If we find the plant's ready to start up and run, we can get a full-time operator, and and we don't know if it's gonna be the purpose of solving, I don't know if you guys are residents of the district. If it could supply the district and the development, we don't know that till we get to that point, but that's what the operator's gonna base his price on. What is he gonna be maintaining water for? Is it just the district? Is it the development is it both? We don't know. And what type of plant is it also? But in the meantime, till we get to that point, the distribution system is covered under DEP and the Drinking Water Act. And we're covered.
okay. All right,
One more thing, Mr. Chairman, just.
Yes.
I also believe on the $40,000 grant from MassWorks, I believe you could move forward with the engineering study now. You have that capital money that was set aside for an engineering study, and you could use the $40,000 if it comes in from the grant as reimbursement to that, so it could reimburse the funds. So you could move forward with that engineering study. I know you have it on the agenda, and it's something you can move forward with. And I'd advise you to get that engineering study done as fast as possible, just so you know what the capacity of the plant is, you know?
Yeah, there was funds, when I spoke to, is it Laura?
Yeah.
When I spoke to Laura, there's funds set aside for the meters, to purchase of the meters, and then there's also funds set aside to go towards the engineering. I don't know the amounts that were set aside. She can go back through her notes. It was a set amount to the North Carver Water District.
okay. So, because you kind of mixed the meters, are we talking about the meter pit?
No, the meter pit's separate. It's already paid for by ARPA funds,
Okay,
I believe, right? Yeah.
all right. Because I know you sent me something in there that, an agreement that $200,000 that we had for engineering that I thought was, that was gonna be used for the
Yeah,
meter
you
pit.
were correct, you were correct, huh?
Right.
Yeah, because you said it the last meeting, and I didn't know
Yeah.
it was, yeah.
Okay, so,
So you
That's
were correct, Bob, that's it.
yeah, okay,
That's what I mean, I think you can move forward with that study right now. If the $40,000 comes in from MassWorks, you reimburse
Yeah.
your capital.
all right.
And if it doesn't?
You have the money in capital.
We have money in, yeah,
You're
we have
right now.
200,000 to use for it, so, and that's gonna be important. That money is gonna be important for the future of the district.
And, in discussion purpose, at some point, it was done previously by an engineered firm for Hillwood.
Yeah,
I would,
and I have that, and I can send that out to everyone.
Okay.
So you guys do
yeah,
have
we need a
that.
bid on it because it's gonna go over 10,000.
So, yeah. So any other questions about this KP Law document that was sent to us?
No, no discussion.
All right. All right.
Do you need a motion to make for you to have authorization to discuss with Esquire about pricing and?
We already did that. You
Okay.
already,
Well, we,
for that.
do we make a motion?
You can go right ahead, make a motion and,
I just want to cover our bases for you,
no,
Bob.
no, that's fine. I
All right,
mean,
I'll make a motion to grant authority for Bob to talk with the
Definitely,
lawyer
second
to review the costs of his services. He's probably per diem, and then also to review the KP Law for Middleborough to be our distribution operator for
Okay.
the interim to satisfy DEP.
okay. All right. Discussions?
Do you want a second?
Oh, sorry.
I'll second.
Second. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next is discussion to vote to have Middleborough Water temporary operator. Now, you discussed that with them, did you?
I went over and I spoke to the town administrator. He was open to it, and he said it wouldn't be an issue. He did shoot me a note and said, we're actually already doing that because our water's running through your system. I said, well, we need something to satisfy DEP per the drinking water standards. So that's what this is probably drawn up for.
Yeah.
He probably went to
Okay.
his lawyer and said, we gotta get something in line for DEP. And he might have even spoke to Jim McLaughlin, because Jim, he falls under Jim's
I don't think they
supervision.
copied on this, but just so you know, I also received this close to the exact same letter for the select board, the Carver Select Board. And I'm assuming the same letter went to the Middleborough Select Board.
Okay,
So he's asking all three entities to sign off.
yes.
All right. Any other discussions about that? Okay, because that was one of my big things, is how much are they going to charge us for it? And then also, we have to look at water meters, which is the next one that we're gonna be moving on to.
Yeah, don't move on yet. So during our discussion, I said, you know, anything that goes over $10,000 obviously has to go out to bid, and he said, well, I'll keep it at a cap at 10,000, and it's just based on hours and materials. It depends on, I don't know what's involved with that, he's gonna get a breakdown, I assume that'll come after this is signed. I think it's the testing, some of the backflows, whatever's, they're already doing the samples up to the labs, I already see the,
Right.
you see the lab
Yeah.
results, so they're already doing it. I'm sure we're just gonna get the charge for it.
And I've seen emails that I know Bob and I copied on, Eric, you might have been copied on one or two of these too. They're looking at some of the meters already, and some
Yes.
of the meters couldn't be read. If you guys remember this?
Yeah.
But they're fixing those meters, and now they're actually reading, I don't know how many are broken and how many they need to fix. but
19.
They're addressing it, though. They're
Yeah.
addressing some of them anyway.
And there's two that still have to, two water lines that still have to be drilled out to the people's homes.
I
So,
think there's 100 in total that have to be changed out though,
yes.
because they're over
Yes.
10 years of age, or coming up on 10 years
Yeah.
of age.
Number 7, are we okay with number 6 now?
Good, yes.
All right, number 7, invite Middleborough Water Supervisor, Middleborough Town Manager to our next meeting. Do you guys want to do that?
We can, I don't know how busy they are, because they got a lot of stuff going on over there. So, and we're limited, we don't have flexibility, other than, you know, we got Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
I don't know what their schedule's like, and I don't know when Middleborough meets.
So I'll put an invite out to them for our next meeting. All right, water meter issues. Nice big file. All right, so through talking to Middleborough about water meters, they use the Neptune 900 version 4.
Doug?
This is what they use
Yeah.
for water meters.
Radios.
Radio transmit?
Yeah. I called the company that supplies us with it. They came out, that company, forget the name of it.
Sales?
Huh?
Tie sales?
Yeah, $265
Meter.
per meter.
But it's a combined unit though, because it's a radio and the meter itself,
Yeah.
so it's a combined
We
unit.
already have the reader, right? Or they already
So-
have the reader.
Huh?
They already have the reader.
No, there's a transmitter, there's the meter itself, then there's a transmitter that if you have a gun, you can read from radio.
Right. We don't have to
So-
purchase a gun, I'm sure they already have it.
You
Yes.
can, yeah.
Yeah. So, that being said, I went to Middleborough and I asked them, I says, hey, how much are you guys charging for it? And $215, but they're, because they buy the amount
Bulk.
in bulk for it. It was like $215, and then there was a 15% markup because they're buying it there for it. I told them I would go ahead and take a look to see who else we can get it from, and it can be cheaper.
I think you're not
There's
gonna
nothing.
find, they're the guy.
They're not, we're not gonna get anything cheaper than that. I have talks to them about
You have to convert everything.
what size meters we use.
They're all different sizes, correct? Depending on the line coming in?
Yeah, 58, mostly 5/8 inch, most of them, there's some 1 inch to commercial ones. We have a copy of all those, I submitted it to them. That listing, just looking here, because I got stuff here from Kathy Case. So we do have a couple of meters that are really screwed up. And the first one is at 160 Plymouth Street. They had a $3,000 bill
Yeah.
for it, so they're fixing this upstairs for it. So we're gonna have to deal with some of these at some point.
Did you get the list of meters that have to be changed out?
Yes, and I submitted that to, there were 19 of them.
No, the ones, even the outdated ones that should be replaced.
So right now, I don't know how busy Middleborough is. My main concern are these 19.
Okay.
Get these done and over with. The other thing is that I think the district should order more
Well,
that
that's
we
what I
have
was-
on
yeah.
hand.
Yeah, can I, and just gotta make sure they order the right one. The meters come in either gallons or cubic feet, so we just gotta know which.
Right, they'll all be, as far as I know, they use gallons.
Okay.
And that's the issue that we had.
'Cause
Is that some are gallons and some are.
Huge difference.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it happens, unfortunately.
yeah.
Well, it might be and Doug, correct me, because you guys buy them all the time up in Duxbury, I'm sure. And I've talked to a couple water people already. They buy them in bulk. I mean, we could save a lot of money if we got a kind of a list and we know what we need and we buy whatever it is, 100 that's needed.
Yeah.
21 grand compared to 30 grand, but we'll have them. And they don't take up a lot of space.
Right.
It's in boxes, 8 in a box in the case.
Just for thoughts. I mean,
No, I totally understand, but I think even with the 15% markup with Middleborough, because when I contacted Thai Sales, and they said, the salesperson said $265, I'm like, well, they're giving a, so then I called the manager, and the manager, we played tag back and forth for it. We're not gonna get it any cheaper than if we go through Middleborough. So if we,
You got a connection to Texas?
Just Joe Coulter, yeah.
it's the same supervisor for this whole area.
We should ask them
For-
about bulk though. If you got a copy of that list, I'll go through by the meters.
I told him we would need probably another 100 meters for it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would go down to that amount of money.
Really?
To be totally honest, I don't think we're gonna get the $215 one plus the 16, so I mean, even like 240. I mean, if Middleborough will purchase them for us, and we go ahead and do this bulk bid to them for it, I think that would probably be the best option for us.
Yeah, they'll have them. I mean,
That we buy all of them, and the 100 and, if we did 130, do all of them, 130, the 5/8 ones.
Right.
The other ones, there's not a lot that use them, so
Right.
let's just work on the 5/8, buy 100 of those from Middleborough, plus the 18, so 118 total.
does the breakdown give what meter size they have?
Yeah. There's one in,
Do you want to go through that list, or if I can get a copy of it, I'll break down how many meters and what size, and then you know. You don't have to go through it now, you got no glasses on.
yeah, I don't have glasses, and that's small print there, so that has all of a.
I'm just curious too, though, what's Middleborough charge? Do they do the gallons or do they do cubic feet?
Gallons, as far
Okay,
as I
so we
know.
can, and they're doing gallons.
Because I specifically asked, what are you guys using?
Okay, so we're all.
All right, so we're all on the same page.
Good.
And that's the big thing is, I'm looking for future. I'm not looking for right now or whatnot. I'm looking for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, that if something goes wrong with Middleborough and they need water and we're able to provide water to assist them, then they've helped us so much times, all right? And the town's kind of said, oh, forget it, see you later. All right, we got what we wanted and then walked away, and now we have to go back to them and say, hey, we need your help. And they've helped us, and I'm so appreciative that they've helped us in this, but we as a board have to see that we have a development coming up, all right? And we have to provide water to them. So, so do we want a motion to ask Middleborough to purchase the water meters for us, and we'll submit a
I think that would be a good idea.
check,
Yeah, right there.
okay?
I'll make a motion.
Second it?
Okay, and we have a motion to ask Middleborough to pay for, for us to pay for the meters that they bid to, and how many do we want to purchase?
I know there's 100, and what's that, 131 on this?
Yes, but that includes like McDonald's and
No, I see those, yeah, they're
Cornerstones and-
2-inch Commerce Way, there's
Right,
1 inch and a
yeah,
half inch mains. There's not a big variance, pretty much all of them, except for about 15 are the other sizes.
Okay, so do we do 130 of them and have some on backup stock for us?
Yeah, they don't go bad, right?
Right,
They don't go back, no.
no. So 130 units
5/8.
of 5/8. Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Gallons.
And gallons.
Yeah.
I confirmed that with them.
All right. Any more discussion about this?
No.
All those in favor? Say aye.
Oh, hold on,
Oh, wait, just,
sorry. There's 8 2-inch,
Ouch.
4 inch and a half, and 7 excuse me. Yeah, 8 2-inch and 4 inch and a half. On top of the rest that are 5/8, just so you know. But
okay, do we want to purchase the other ones too, or no?
It wasn't one of the commercial properties on that list?
I think there was.
I think if the problem meters should be taken care of first, obviously.
Yeah, McDonald's
Yep.
was one.
That was probably first.
I don't have it. Yeah.
Noria was one. The retail thing with the Shaw, I guess Shaw's was on there too.
Shaw's is all, there's 2 inch and 1 inch over there, and inch and a half. But they're all listed. What's good is
Yeah.
this gives per site,
Yeah.
which is great. I don't see the. Oh, McPhee prices. Inch and a half is McDonald's.
She's a big user.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to pick up like 3 of each
Okay.
of those other sizes, that's fine.
What were the sizes?
Inch and a half and then 2 inch.
Half and 2 inch.
We'll need some more of them, but at least you'll have the ones to replace that's needed on the
Yeah.
commercial property and backups.
So you want 3 of each ones of those?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second to do 130 5/8, 3 1.5, and 3 2.5 that we asked Middleborough to buy for us, and we will pay them back for it, or if we can pay them first. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion, thank you. Second. All right, that can go there.
And Middleborough already has that list of problem
Yeah,
meters.
they were submitted that. All right, proposals for service. The first one, and it goes in your packet, alarm service agreement. This is from American Alarm. So I had already submitted out alarm services for this work, and here's the bottom line here. So what they're saying is the total cost would be $506.83.
It's $600 for the total alarm installation up at North Carver Water.
Oh, that, all right, so.
The other
wait
one's a
second.
3-year agreement for the monitoring, and that's in the town. This includes all the town, the whole town. Because it's under a group bill. They're already monitoring the fire system up there.
Okay, so it's $613.57
Yeah,
to replace what we have.
correct. And that would ring right into the central station for the police department if something broke into the building.
So
That's all doors and it's backup as well.
what is the monthly fee? Because this, you said this $500 is for the whole town.
Correct, it's a.
How is it broken down to the North Carver Water District of how much we're gonna,
If you could probably break it up by service. Actually, I thought they did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7 sites. You could probably just break it up. It's the monitoring for the 7 sites. So 506, if you, because you want to itemize it, right? You want the
I want to know
reimbursement.
exactly how much, because we had other companies that gave us bids too for it,
So this is,
and their monthly fee may be cheaper.
yeah, but we already have the fire suppression system tied into the town. And this will ring directly to our fire station, rather than it goes to a third party. They reach out to the fire station. This
Well,
rings directly to it. But let's
this-
give you the price. 506 divided by 7. $72,
$72 a month.
correct.
So other
Oh, I
other
see.
monitoring systems were,
Monthly in advance. Cost and fee schedule, professional services, monthly advance, 506, 3-year agreement. Let's get clarification on that month, because I thought it was less than that. I think it was per quarter on their bill. That's O&M. I'm around town tomorrow if you want me to ask her to give a clarification on it.
yeah, because I mean, if we can get it cheaper for the monthly cost, and
But you're going with another party though.
it's two different ones. We have one for security for the alarm system, and we have one for the fire system.
The fire is already tied into the town, which we want.
Right, and any monitoring
By the
system,
company.
there's 24-hour, 7-day monitoring system anyways.
Right.
No matter who you go with, it's just what that monthly cost is gonna be.
Right.
And like I said, I wanna have everything that we're paying for that we can document, because if we have an audit next year, that we can say, this is how much it's costing us to do this job. And we go to town meeting and say, this is what it's costing us right now, for where we're at, so. We need a breakdown of the monthly costs for it.
Yeah, and I think it would be in the best interest for us to stay under the same vendor that's already doing the fire to do the police, because it'll ring in directly to our station. It's not gonna ring to somebody else that's gonna call our station and say, you got an alarm at this place. It's gonna ring directly. But I'll get a breakdown.
Yeah,
It's
just-
probably per
And
site.
we'll put this on the next agenda.
Okay.
All right, for this to be done. And
I'll have them give a breakout, and then we can just reimburse the town for the monthly charge, whatever they
Yeah.
come up with.
Okay, next one is the generator. So this is from Premier Generator. It's not part of the other company that was there before. Who, did you get this, or?
Yep, I had the vendor come out. I met him on site, and it was actually the vendor that actually installed that generator for whoever was doing the general construction.
Yeah.
So he's very familiar with it. They're local, they're right in Wareham. I actually use them for my home. That's how I got the name. Responsive, if you're on their list, you're first if the power's out and your generator goes down. But for the commercial unit, annual maintenance is $650. That's a minor PM and then a full PM. That happens annually on both of them. Emergencies, there's the labor rates if they come out per hour. I know the previous vendor, there was issues with charges on stuff that was covered under warranty, and I think there's still open bills sitting in there from them. I'm not 100% sure, but
No, they were paid for by O&M. O&M paid them out and then sent an email saying, yeah, just cancel North Carver Water District from you guys. There's an email out there for that.
Okay.
I don't know how they can do that, how a town can cancel something that's has to us. I mean, that just, I mean, that's
Where
where
does it
money,
go?
this is where money, we have to keep track of our money and how things are going, because if somebody else is paying a bill for us, that's wrong. All right, even if there's questions about warranty work or whatnot, I mean, that's something that we should be dealing with. We don't just say, well, we're not gonna pay it, just like me saying,
Right.
not paying the solar. I wanna know what's going on.
Correct.
All right, but I would like to have another company that we have a couple other companies say, hey, this is what we'll do. I mean, I know that company's, I can't remember the name of it, that was doing it before, but
FM.
FM generators, they were willing to bypass the issues that we had before and come back on for it. But
They're out of Canton too.
they are out of Canton, but they also do the rest of the town too. Ones there, so, I mean, using the same thought processes, do we use the same thing that the town has, or do we go somewhere different? And, I mean,
Where it's a backup I mean, the town's using FM, that's fine, if you wanna go with a,
no, I just I'd like to know how much, if this is gonna cost. I mean, this, cost-wise, knowing that I have my own home generator, all right, and the company that I use, for the size that's there, I think these are within line
Yeah.
with it.
Oh, yeah.
I think that, it's not that I'm saying they're way outrageous or anything, I think it's within line, even their hourly rate is within line too. But we have to build this into our budget on how we do this.
there was a budget.
make sure.
Yeah, we did that originally, but
All right.
I don't think it came through for the.
Yeah,
yeah.
so this is something that's gonna have to be dealt with, so, I'll leave it up to you guys right now. Do you guys wanna make a motion to deal with this, or what?
I'm familiar with their works, and you wanna keep it kinda separate, I make a motion to entertain taking them on as the contractor and get that thing up and running.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. Need it?
I just really like it where they're right in Wareham, they're right there. That's a big
Okay,
plus,
I have a motion.
big motion.
All right, I'll second it because you need it up and running. Yeah, second it.
Here in a second. All right, discussion, like I just said with the discussion, I'd prefer to have 3 different options for it. But like I said, that this is, I think it's close to where other ones would be too.
Right.
So I don't think, even if we had $100 savings or whatnot, it really wouldn't matter. But I also agree that they are in Wareham, they're close by, if there is. And I know they have technicians all over the place too.
I think actually 2 of them live in town.
Right,
So,
so, I mean, yeah. I just wanna let you know, I did call them before and they weren't interested. Just wanna let you know, I did call and they said they weren't interested, so coming back for this, but no matter what.
Sorry?
We have a motion and a second, no, it's fine, hey, it is what it is. All those in favor, say aye.
aye.
Aye, unanimous, okay. All right, can you contact them and, that we can sign an agreement? Have an agreement signed up?
Yeah, I think this is actually the agreement, no, it was.
No,
Okay, that was
I
the
want
quote.
something-
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I'll get an agreement for them. It'll give
So-
a breakdown too for the full PM I know is oil filter,
Yeah.
plugs, air filter, and then they do a full run through on the whole generator. And then the partial, I think, is just before winter time. They're going through,
Right.
check everything out, clean it, make sure it's ready to go.
Yeah.
But they're good.
We may end up having to pay a little bit more because it's been sitting for a while, and who knows what's wrong with it, but just letting you guys know, we could have another bill coming to us.
He took it out, it's out of lockout because there's no maintenance, and I think somebody put it in lockout.
Yeah,
So, but he took it out when he was up there, and so.
all right, so we got the generator contract, we're gonna deal with that one, and the electrical issues? You were,
Yep, so I had a private electrician come up, Weber Electric. He reviewed the outlets that were out. They're actually, every outlet has power. I talked with former chairman. O&M was up there when they did some lighting, because there was no lights in there, and they put some partial lighting, what they could up there. Told them about the outlets, they may have fixed it. I had him look at he said they might have been, all those outlets on that end of the building might be on one circuit, so it might have to be split to 2 different circuits. It's too much of a draw, maybe that's why they ran it.
that was the issue, is they were drawing too much because of the meter, the pH meters or whatnot they were
Right.
using there, the dehumidifiers or whatever, they were all on those, and that's what was blowing it. That's why they had all the extension cords running around it and running it to the computer. So the GFCIs kept on blowing. That's why one of the things that needed to be done was the GFCIs need to be replaced, and switching up no matter how they do that, I'm not an electrician, I'm like,
Yeah, he didn't-
hire someone in to say it, here you go. But I would like the computer put on its own circuit, so it's not attached to something else that will blow.
Okay. He said he could do it not to exceed, or if you want an hourly base, he can take the wiring out, the abandoned wiring from the prior generator. He can remove that goes right into the building cap outside, where that comes up through the feed and it's just hanging out. But then also cap inside. It's inside the current panel. I don't know if you've looked in there.
Yeah.
Okay. He can get all that wiring out as well. If he has to split the circuits, he can do a load test, and then if GFIs have to be replaced, he can replace them, but it depends on the cost and how many he buys, obviously. But he said he can do it not to exceed. I said I can talk to the board and let him know. He'll pull a permit. If he's gonna deal with the electrical part, he'll pull a permit through the town and have the inspector come out, and if he has to do any of the GFI swap outs. He said, you know, if you want $1,000 or if you want $1,500, whatever works, it's by the hour.
Okay.
So,
The GFCIs, I think, should be replaced. They're older ones, they're not the best quality
Right.
ones, from what I was told. And plus, we already had, I had 4 different electricians, one that never gave me an estimate for it back, but from Middleborough. But the other ones, they also put up things, so,
I can get,
I-
if we want to replace all the GFIs, I can ask him to give me a direct quote for all the GFIs replacement, and then making sure those are on enough separate circuits, and the computer as well.
right.
And he can look at it, he already looked at the panel, but we have plenty of room in the panel
Right.
for
Yeah.
expansion. So he's fine with that. I can get a locked in rate if that's easier for you guys.
Yeah, I'd rather have a number and
Okay.
give the other people that put in the time to come out and give us estimates to say, hey, this is what he's gonna do, give us a price for what you would pay to do it. So we have options, and like I said, I'd rather have options than just to go with one person,
Okay.
and we have that ability. So we'll put that electrical issues on the next,
Yeah, I think he can do a load test on the circuits.
Yeah.
See what the draw is, and he can set them up. If it's gotta be broken up, he can do that.
all right, all right. Number 10 we're up to is a cleaner for the infestation environment dropping. I did contact one company that does do it. They haven't come back with a price yet for it. So, but you said you would clean it, but I mean,
Yeah,
really,
I've been in there like 7 times. It looks
So-
good.
behind the shelves, on the ledges, those all need to be vacuumed up because they're mice droppings and rat and chipmunk, whatever it is.
Good
The
stuff.
the possibility of airborne problems, I can tell you, I went into a place that had mice droppings and I got sick. So there's no way I'm.
You gotta wear a mask.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, I'd rather pay someone to come in and do that cleaning, that if they get sick, it's on them, it's not on us, it's their, like, I'm not going to do it. I mean, if you want to knock yourself out, but I'd hate for the district to get sued.
So you didn't get any quotes back from anybody?
I didn't get any quotes back for them yet. There was only one company that I really talked to down the Cape.
Let me talk, I got 2
so-
environmental company cleanup. Let me see
Yeah.
if I can get in touch with.
So, and that brings us up to number 11 is cleanup of the chemical room. That needs to happen. It's the chemical, like I said, they're just caked on and,
Yeah, they crystallized.
right. So,
I did reach out to, yep,
yeah,
they're all Western Mass.
Yeah,
They-
yeah.
I haven't heard back from them yet,
yeah.
so.
They're in no hurry to, because we're not buying anything
No,
from them.
they got no reason to
They
come
got
by.
no reason to come down because
I know.
we're the only people that utilize them in this area.
Right.
So, I mean, we're gonna be sitting on these empty things for a long time.
The containers I can get rid of
Yeah.
legally, so.
So, like I said, the empty ones, yeah, if, I don't know if we pay
There's no fee
for 'em.
Yeah,
a deposit, whatever. But yeah, so the cleanup room, there is a company that we use out of, I think it's Braintree or something like that, that can deal with chemical cleanups and whatnot, and they said they would come down and take care of this. It's up to you guys on if and when we're gonna do it and how
When you
we're
get
gonna
into
do it.
chemicals, get a quote.
Exactly, exactly. Speaking of that, to kind of go back to the electrical, the exposed wire in the chemical room,
Okay.
okay, it looked like there was a pump there and they took the pump out. It has a switch hooked up to it and the wires are just hanging out. That needs to be capped off.
Capped or repaired.
I don't even know, I don't know what it was running to.
Okay.
I suspect it was running to a pump.
Like chemical feed pump.
Yeah, yeah, a pump, and they just took the pump out, and it wasn't running, they decided not to put it back on.
Okay.
But I didn't see another pump to
That's
put
a
in
good
place.
item to put on for the engineers when they get that going, so they can, well, they'll figure it out.
They'll gotta figure it out,
Yeah.
yeah, when they try to pump
Right.
whatever they're pumping, so.
Cap that off.
So the chemical cleanup of the room, do you want me to contact this company and get a number and say, hey,
Yeah.
how much for it? All right, I will do that for the next meeting. The telephone issue, I already discussed that. That's, do we want to go with that program where it's $12 per line?
The only thing, I'm not sure, we'll have to talk to IT because of Homeland Security issues, and it's a water supply system. And I know it's Verizon.
Yeah,
We gotta talk to him because I talked to him already about the updating. He laughed when he saw the computers and the software that's in there.
Yeah.
It's available. It's probably gonna be around 8-10 grand for the computer, updated computer system in there.
yeah.
But I don't know if you're in town hall at all, if you want me to stop by and ask him about that.
Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna need that update to come into compliance, so that's something that we're gonna have to do. Whether we get it up and running and get operator in there, that needs to be done.
Right.
And that's just the computer itself, that's not the actual monitoring of the actual pumps. Because one of those screens don't work anymore at all on it, and the other one, the touch screen on it, it just doesn't work right.
So I do know that that system, yeah, it's outdated, but it was, they had a software set up so that the actual operators were doing it through their laptops,
Right.
so they logged in
Yeah, yeah.
remotely. When I talked to IT, he said he'll come up there with us and meet us or look at it. He'll look at what's gonna be done there. All the software that's used is there at the plant, so you
Right.
can just get the new updated software.
Yeah. I consolidated, there were discs in the file cabinets, there were discs in the drawers, there were discs all over the place. I consolidated them all into the desks there, so they would all be in one place.
Right.
Same with keys, just to let you know, keys were all over that plant. I found keys on every ledge all around that plant. What the keys go to, no clue, because they're not labeled with anything.
Nope.
But they were all placed in a box too, for it. So,
IT did say that we'll probably have to get Suez water in, because that was a design from Suez, so they know what the software is.
Yeah.
To do the programs and get them all updated with the plant. So that is probably a hurdle down the line.
you're not talking about small water.
No,
You're
Suez.
you're talking about the company that built the
The
plant,
manufacturing
right,
plant,
yeah, yeah.
They'll probably have to come by, look at the plant, they'll know what it needs, and they'll see the software, they'll know what has to be updated in the
Right.
system. It's gonna be user-friendly.
And the other thing with that is, I'm reading up about the cybersecurity crap there for it, but it would have to be cellular based for us for it, and how that cellular cost comes into factor of it,
I think that's in there.
and
There is a cell wire up there.
yeah, there is. So where we pay for that, I think that's the other cost for Verizon on it,
Yeah.
is the other cost for that, but just the basic phone lines is $12. All right, so we did that. So you're gonna take care of IT.
Yep.
All right, the landscaping of the property. So I know the O&M did the inside of the property, but we still need to do the outside, and we have to take care of that other fenced-in area.
Are the
So-
kids, is the group still working?
I have no clue, but, I think we need to just take the bull by the horns and hire a company to do that, to get down, because we have to cut the lock's frozen, all rusted in. They need to cut the tree on the outside of it just to get access, to
Right.
pull the gate open to get into it. But there's a lot of work in there. It's not like something's gonna get done in a day or two. That's
Oh,
gonna
no,
be
there's a lot of work there.
You got trees growing everywhere, and they'll have to be pulled out, because you don't want them to grow back,
I don't even know,
so.
probably a landscaper. I would,
A landscape, it's not that we're gonna need to have huge trees cut down or anything, so it's not like we're gonna have to have someone come in
no,
there
I
and do
think the
that.
smallest was like 3 or 4 inch tree.
Right, so a landscaper could do that for us, and do we wanna get quotes
I think.
for that work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
If you gotta give them my name, I know you work weird hours, I'm usually around,
yeah.
either one.
I was gonna ask Doug, you wanna take on that role of getting a couple of quotes for landscapers on,
Oh, what about the tree guy you know, does landscape stuff, DJ, he doesn't do any of that, does he?
Doesn't do
No.
anything.
Kevin
I can
Robinson
come-
does it.
Who is it?
Kevin Robinson?
Is he local?
yeah.
He's on the planning board.
I don't deal with
So,
it.
all right,
He's
so
the chair of the planning board.
I can,
will you be willing to take on that role to get 3 estimates from different landscapers to say, hey, to take care of all the trees and shrubs in the drainage area there, and to do a 5-foot swath around the fence line, and cut anything that's, not the big trees that are there,
yeah.
just the underbrush?
Don't have any keys yet for that. I haven't got any.
I have your
Okay.
keys.
He's got your keys, so you haven't been to the plant yet. Okay, all right.
I didn't,
All right. We did that, all right. So, again, I just want to reiterate, the topics not reasonably anticipated was the KP Law document that came in, and the other lawyer.
Can I add to that?
Yes, sir.
Have we gotten a bill from the town of Middleborough for the water yet? Because I haven't seen that. It's been a quarter, well, actually, the quarter just ended. Are they billed every three?
I think it's every quarter.
Did we?
Yeah, it's quarter.
Did we get a bill yet?
Not that I know of, no one's notified me of a bill.
The last bill was December, January, February, does that make sense?
All right, so March, April, May.
Oh, no.
No.
I'm off one.
Yeah.
It's June, May, April, right? That's the last, we should have that quarter. So whatever the previous one was, what? March, February, January.
Right.
So you're talking about a total bill for all the water that's used
Yeah.
in the town
Yeah.
for it?
Yeah,
Well, I
coming
haven't
across.
seen it. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think they're billing well, you're on the district, correct?
I am,
Have
but
you-
I'm
Yeah,
not on the water.
she's not
Oh,
on the
yeah,
water.
all right.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Unless they're billing directly, but I don't.
no, they're not.
Yeah.
They're, from what I've gathered is they're sending all the numbers to finance, and they're sending the bills out that way. So they haven't come back with an amount for us, I'm sure they're going to.
I had to chase him for the last bill.
All right.
All right.
I'll find out tomorrow. I'll reach out to, you had to do it?
Yeah, I really had to chase him.
Okay.
All right, so if you want, I can reach out about that, because you got some other stuff on your plate. I can contact Middleborough Town Administrator and ask him about the water bill.
Yeah, if we got an open water bill.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting
To
paid from
pay.
the district, the people that are on the district, so the money's just basically coming in one hand and going out.
Right.
So,
Yeah. All right, I screwed up on the minutes. I have the wrong date for those, my fault.
what are you doing with dates?
I've had a rough couple of weeks here now. All right, next meeting, do you guys want to? We can do next Wednesday, or we can do, I can't do that one. Can't do Tuesday, I can't do Tuesday or Wednesday, in the morning. Do you want to do the 28th at 6:30 again?
Yeah, because this is gonna be a quick one,
It's gonna be
right?
quick, it is gonna be real
Yeah.
quick.
is it a Wednesday?
It's
Wednesday.
the 28th.
That's fine, Doug, that work for you?
If it's Wednesday, yeah, I can do the 28th.
It'll be quick.
Yeah, that's just to make sure,
The only thing will be like the legal one, the water meter, the water bill here, the electrical
At
one that
6:30.
you're doing, I'll put that on. And the alarm system,
yeah, I'll get that
the alarm
tomorrow.
system too. I think that's it,
Yeah,
Wednesday.
all right?
don't write a story.
Hmm?
Don't write any more stories on the agenda.
No,
No books.
no books, okay. All right. Anything else?
So Wednesday at 6:30, right? Same-
6:30, yeah.
Okay.
All right, and then, okay. Any other questions here? Comments, issues, problems? Glenn, anything else for you? No. All right, any comments from anyone else in the gallery?
I just have a question. I remember when they voted at town meeting for the North Carver Water District to go in. And all these things that have gone down the toilet, who's responsible for that? I just have a question. I don't know. I mean,
So, ultimately, it's the North Carver Water District's, it's our, it falls on us.
The
We're at the top of
I know it does
All right,
now.
but no matter what, whatever's happened in the past, happened in the past.
Yeah.
I will say one thing, is that at some point, we will have to have an executive session meeting. And I won't put it on the next meeting, it'll probably be the follow-up one for it, for us. Just to keep your eyes and ears open that there may be litigation issues coming up. So, all right?
Can I, how do I get something on the agenda? I'd like to discuss, my neighbor's getting clean water, and if I sell my house, whoever buys it needs to have access to water.
Send it to me,
Just email you?
just email me,
Or do you have that?
robert.belbin@carverma.gov.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay? I try to use my email address. I do have to say, for disclosure, is Jill sends me stuff on my home email because I don't look at my Carver one every day. And whatever,
Oh, you're supposed to.
I forward everything that gets sent to me on my private, I forward it to my Carver .gov email. So anything that gets sent to me, whether it's my phone or anything, everything gets put back in and gets sent to robert.belbin@carverma.gov. So there is nothing that, I don't want anything on my computer at home and nothing on my phone. I want everything, boom, see you later. Anyone got any questions?
No,
That's it.
We have the minutes. We gotta approve the minutes.
No, I put the wrong date on it.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll do the minutes,
Oh,
I put the wrong date on it.
but they're good on this, we can just amend that, can't we?
Huh?
I make a motion to.
It's just a clerical error, just
Okay.
they're for July 10th, for the 20th.
Whatever you guys want to do, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Yeah,
I make a motion to approve
make a correction,
correction and then improve the minutes with the right date.
July 24th, 2024.
So I just want to make it clear, the date is wrong on my agenda. Just want to make sure, it's wrong on the agenda,
But it's
all
correct.
right? But it's correct on the minutes here. So we have a motion
Second.
and a second. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Cool.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Good night. We have a motion?
Yep.
Second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Excellent, thank you, we're done.